There's a perfect storm that's bearing down on the fleet industry, and one of the biggest threats is an incredible loss of industry knowledge as more and more baby boomers retire.
So one of the things that I've really been trying to emphasize with our clients and in my public speaking in the last year is what I refer to as the perfect storm that's bearing down on fleet owners around the world. And there are really three elements, if you will, or storm fronts that I've been talking about. Everybody's aware of the advances in information technology that have occurred in the last decade. And what those advances have done is, while they've created this incredible increase in ability to apply data to decision making, to more informed decision making, those advances are heightening expectations on the part of management officials and elected officials that fleet managers are actually going to employ data-driven business practices. And a lot of fleet management organizations are struggling to do that. We've had Windows-based fleet management information systems around for about 20 years. There are a lot of organizations that still struggle to get good information out of their Windows-based work order management systems. Now you layer on top of that all of the data that are being generated by telematics solutions, and a lot of fleet professionals are really feeling overwhelmed by the quantities of data. So that's one aspect of the perfect storm. The second one is advances and changes in automotive technology. Electrification is obviously really become much more popular, much more compelling in the last, I would say, 18 months or so. Before that, it was other types of alternative fuel vehicles, compressed natural gas vehicles, ethanol, propane. Still some interest in that, but electrification is clearly kind of front and center right now in terms of a lot of fleet owners thinking about alternatives to conventionally fueled vehicles. So fleet professionals are having to make sense of all the different technologies, the costs associated with those. So there are a lot of challenges there. The third challenge, and the one which I think, the word I would use is threat, existential threat, if you will, to a lot of fleet owners, is the loss of institutional knowledge as baby boom generation fleet professionals retire. A lot of organizations, in our experience at Mercury, have been able to get by with not employing very data-driven decision-making processes, forecasting processes, planning processes, because they have fleet professionals with 20, 30, 40 years of practical experience dealing with the challenges and the demands of managing a fleet day in and day out. As those individuals retire, a lot of their employers have not made any provision for replacing that lost knowledge. So, you can get by on past practice, experience, subjective judgment, firsthand observation when your fleet is being managed by someone who's been doing this for 30 or 40 years. What happens when those individuals retire?